everyone, so it's Adele and April again from Just Say Scrap with Close to My Heart.
Hi.
We are here because we are actually going to be starting something new. It is going to be called our Technique Tuesdays. So what we are going to do is every Tuesday we are going to show you guys a new technique that we've discovered over the years, and we're going to start out very simply and then we're going to get harder and harder as it goes on. And with that, we are then going to have our Throw It Together Thursdays. So what that is, we're going to take the last few techniques that we have used and we're going to throw it together either in a card or a scrapbooking layout that you guys can use, just so you get your hands on and you start using these techniques as we go along. So, ready for the first technique?
Yes, I am.
All right. So today our first technique is going to be corner rounding. So this is a pretty simple technique. We started out with this long time ago, and it was one of the first things that we started to do to embellish our scrapbooking pages just a little bit. So before we wanted to start, we just wanted to take a few pictures that we had. So I've just taken some ski pictures, and they all have their sharp edges, 90-degree edges, but we want to fancy these up a little bit with our corner rounder.
Right. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to take whatever picture it is that you're going to use. And usually corner rounders come with something that you can slide the pictures in so that they'll be on either of the edges, right? And then you just punch. It's a punch, and there it goes. It's a rounded corner. And what we usually do is when we do a picture, we could do all four corners.
Sometimes it is easier to leave it on the ground as well.
Yes.
You could do all four.
You could do all four. You can do...
I find it easier on the ground, I should say.
I find it easier when I'm holding it up.
You can make designs like that.
The opposite corner. Or you can take the corners and you can leave one side straight, one side straight, and then you could round the other side.
So before you do your corner rounding, you might also want to trim some of your photos. So this one we trimmed down, this one we did not. So what we want to do with this one is we just want to show you some different techniques. You could also take a backing piece of paper as well and corner round it. You can leave it like this as well, but if we want it to be a little fancy and use some of our techniques from before, I can take my photo and I could do the opposite edges like that, which is pretty cool. You could keep this also straight, these two edges as well if you want, or to make everything even, I can corner round all four corners. And perfect. You can also take that piece of paper then, and you can take another piece of paper. You got to measure it though. This one I just wanted to do it slightly, so I would have to cut this paper down, and I could do the exact same thing to the paper underneath. So you have triple layer of corner rounding. For this photo, I took my 4x6, and I took another 4 and a fourth by 6 and a fourth piece of paper, and I'm gonna layer it like this. But before I do anything, I want to decide which one I want to do. So sometimes you're going to have to look at your layout first. Maybe if it's on this side of the layout, I'm going to corner around these two edges. If it's over here, I'll do the opposite too. If I have it smack dab in the middle, I could do the two opposites, or I could do all four.
So for this picture, we're going to let's do the same side. Let's make believe that this is going to be on this edge of the paper. So what we're going to do is we just take our mat and round the corners exactly the way we rounded the picture. And with this technique, you can either put the picture right up flush against the straight side, Or you can leave a little border, whichever way you like.
So also after we've done this, you can decide if you want to double mat it. So if so, I could take this piece of paper and I can actually leave it so this is square, or I could cut it and also corner round it like I did with this.
Another technique that you could add to your corner rounding, you can either ink the edges or you can distress the edges and ink them, which we'll discuss at another Technique Tuesday.
Thanks for joining us for our first Technique Tuesday. I hope you guys learned a lot about the corner rounder. It's a little nifty thing, but you can do a lot with it and it could spruce up your pages a lot or your cards a lot.
Yes.
And you can have fun with it. So there's our first technique. And as they say in the scrapbooking biz,
see you next Tuesday!
Hey everyone, it's Adele and April with Just Say Scrap by 1, 2, 3. Hey everyone.
Oh. I'm supposed to talk. Okay.
So what that is, it's going to be twice a month, and we are going to take the previous...
Hello, handsome.